For me, the most memorable part of this shoot has been all around Britain. We have locations in Lincolnshire, in London, in Essex, in Suffolk, in Sussex, Yorkshire.
Action vehicle.
We've been everywhere, and so there's a lot of, coming out of a room in Suffolk and walking into another room in Lincolnshire and then coming outside in Pinewood.
Hello.
We shot in some very emotive locations and places which really have that atmosphere that makes the movie as scary as it is.
Come back!
We found a lot of these houses that were these ancient houses that had been abandoned and derelict for years.
It sounds funny, but every single location we've been into have all had cobwebs, dead butterflies, flies, dead birds.
The original house is beautifully manicured and we would have had to completely smash it up, so we decided that we would use a double for Eilmarsh House. We found Snocton Hall in Lincolnshire and it was a good double for Cottesloe. It already had all the overgrown, deserted elements there for us.
There it is, Eilmarsh House.
It was about to fall down and it could have fallen on us. So we had to be quite careful, get a structural survey, and we weren't actually allowed to get that close to the house.
So cold in here. You feel like you could turn up to Eilmarsh House and there would be a ghost sort of haunting it. It could actually happen. Who's there?
Of all of our locations and all the creepy houses we've been to throughout the country, Eilmarsh House is far from safe.
The house itself, it's broken down and more destroyed. We tweaked some of the dimensions and some of the architecture to just give it a bit more shadows, more texture. But things that were really scary from the first film, we made sure we kept in. And obviously the rocking chair and the window, which we felt was very iconic. There is an authenticity from the first film that gets brought through into the second one as films.
Well, the first film went to the Bluebell Railway in Sussex, and so we went back there and shot the same station.
Thank you.
Full of character.
And then we had a big London station scene at King's Cross, which was great with 200 crowd, and we aged down the station, and that took a lot of planning.
At King's Cross, we first of all went down, made a plan of what the shot was, what we were going to see.
Good morning, Miss Parkins.
You're late.
And then we worked out what we were going to dress, what signage. Sometimes it's very boring. You have to go, we have to cover that, cover that, cover that. So often your production budget can be spent covering things up. But luckily, we sort of embellished a bit and sort of went, well, let's put graphics, let's make signs, let's, try and make it a bit lively.
The most memorable scene, I think, was shooting at Osea Island in the Tidal Causeway, because that was such an extraordinary, beautiful, epic landscape.
There's something very special about the Causeway. It's where the original event took place that started the haunting by the woman in black. It's really where everything starts.
It gives such a wonderful, evocative atmosphere to the film, and we had clouds descending and we had mist as well, and we had some amazing sunsets, and it was just a great place to film.
Slow down! Harry!
Be quiet!
We had a day on the causeway, 7 o'clock in the morning. I had to get into the sea.
Edward!
In November. It was probably one of the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Edward!
And so I sort of started this day in this really trying, hard way. And then at the end of the day, I was about to get in the sea again. And there was the most beautiful sunset over the sea. And it was sort of magical.
In London, we shot a lot of the basement scenes in this old women's prison.
We need to get the children to the cellar. Now.
It's been abandoned for years and years. It's all underground. And on the front of it, as you go down, it says, "Look ye into despair, all that enter here."
And action.
And we're down there in the dark, lots of dripping water and stuff. There's no lighting, there's nothing. And it's said to be the most haunted place in London.